Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. Welcome back to Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Another gorgeous summer day here in Long Island, New York. And I know, guys, that we are now in the peak of our gardening season. Summer is in full swing, and we're all super busy taking care of, growing, and of course, harvesting our spring planted crops. I know that for many of us, our gardens are still in full bloom and growth. And we're not even thinking about what will happen in the next few months as we are still busy growing and harvesting what we planted in the early spring season. However, guys, soon summer will be over, fall will be here. So many, if not all of our spring planted crops will die off. And if you guys want to have a fall harvest, then you need to start your fall vegetables now. Might sound crazy since many of us are still having 100+ degree air temperatures outside, but right now in the month of August we need to start sowing and planning and executing our fall garden. Fall vegetable garden is a lot different than the summer vegetable garden, guys, and that is exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. Since August is indeed the perfect month to start sowing our seeds, once again, inside, indoors, and seed starting trays for our fall vegetable garden. I was excited to go to my local garden center to check out their seed collection, their inventory of seeds. And I'm super excited, guys, because I saw so many new and so many different flower, vegetable, and herb varieties. So I was able to pick up lots and lots of new seed packets to add to my seed collection. So in today's video, we're going to talk about fall vegetable garden, as well as we're going to get into my seed haul. I'm going to show you exactly what seeds I purchased and added to my seed collection. This is not even my entire seed collection, guys. These are just the seed packets that I picked up yesterday at my local garden center to add to my existing seed collection. I'm very excited to be able to share these packets with you guys today to show you exactly what I found to be very good, very interesting, and what I plan on growing not only this fall in my home garden, but also what seeds from this new collection I'm planning to sow early spring of next year. So for those of you guys who are looking for that online gardening channel that offers tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home garden to that next level, stick around, guys. Don't go anywhere. Start with clicking the subscribe button below. And if you never want to miss any of my new upcoming gardening videos, don't forget to click the bell icon as well. YouTube will notify you every single time I'll upload a new gardening video. Now let's get started. Let's talk all about the fall vegetable garden, and let's take a look at my seed haul. I know that it might be over 100 degrees where you guys live, and who is thinking about fall at this point, guys? Hey, Sammy, my old friend. But today, in today's video, we're going to cover what a fall garden is, and when to start it, and exactly how to start it, because my goal is to have you guys thinking like a full, successful gardener. Key to having a fall garden, not just any fall garden, but a successful, abundant fall garden, is what you sow and plant now, today, yes, in the middle of summer, in the month of August. So there are two types of crops, guys. There are our warm, loving season crops and the cool weather loving crops. So you have those flowers that just love and thrive in warm or even hot temperatures. Just wanted to show you one of my containers, guys, in the backyard. Look at this. You can't even see the container anymore. The flowers are loving and thriving in it and overtook the entire container. And I've had this container since late spring, guys, and it's just doing great. You have more flowers, such as our petunias, that love warm weather and thrive in warm to hot weather. We have our warm season vegetables, such as our eggplant, our peppers. We have our tomatoes, our cucumbers, our zucchini. So everything that you guys are growing now in your home gardens is essentially a warm weather loving crop. So these crops will not thrive, will not do well, and indeed will start to wilt and die out the second that cooler weather and the cooler air temperatures will arrive. And that time is just around the corner, guys. In about a month and a half, the temperatures will start to decline, and they will decline quickly, guys. And that is the perfect time to grow and to harvest that second category, which is the cool weather loving crops. So for your fall vegetable garden, you have to plant those crops that love and thrive in cooler weather temperatures. And when I say cooler weather temperatures, we are talking about 75 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Since those fall vegetable crops not only love but thrive in cooler air temperatures, some of those crops that you plant might even last you into beginning of winter, as they can and will tolerate even light frost. Fall vegetable or fall garden crops, we must start now in the summer, in the month of August, inside, indoors, in seed starting trays. So basically, it's almost like deja vu. This is exactly what we just recently did in the late winter, early spring. We were inside in our kitchens, our homes, our green rooms, starting our summer plants in our seed starting trays. So now it's that time again, guys, as it is still quite hot outside. And remember, those are cool weather loving crops. They should not be outside in this heat, in the sun right now. But in a few weeks, in 4 to 6 weeks, your seeds will germinate. They will turn into seedlings with true leaves. And by that time, the air temperatures will be lower. They will be much lower. And it's going to be perfect time to transplant those seedlings into your home garden. There are so many cool weather veggies to tell you guys about. The list goes on and on and on. We have our greens, peas, radish, spinach, mustard greens, kale, pumpkins, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. There's so many squash varieties, winter squash, spaghetti squash. There are so many cucumber varieties that, yes, you could still start from seed now in the month of August, as those varieties ripen very, very quickly, and before the first frost hits, they're still going to do well and thrive in your home garden. The list goes on and on and on. And now that all these seed companies are coming out with the new, better, improved seeds, there's so many cool and exciting and new varieties to choose from. There are so many delicious vegetables that you can grow in your home garden, even in the cooler, colder air temperatures. And some of my favorite veggies that I love growing in the fall are my cabbage, my cauliflower, and my broccoli. So basically, my brassicas. Now that you know your warm weather vegetables versus our cool weather vegetables and crops, you're well on your way of thinking like a true gardener. So now I just wanted to show you exactly what seeds I got and added to my already abundant seed collection. When you're choosing the seeds that you want to start in your home gardens, especially in your fall vegetable garden, first and foremost, you need to think back and to calculate your first anticipated frost dates of this year's season. Because when you get your plants in now, this early, you can have a full harvest before it gets too cold. And all the plants that you're choosing to plant or sow now, they're going to be well established in your ground by the time the cold winter temperatures come. For those of you, my fellow gardeners who are not sure, don't know how to calculate the first anticipated frost date, don't despair, guys. It's super easy. Just go online, go on Google, type in your zip code of either where you live or where you garden or both, and type in the words first anticipated frost date, and you will get the exact first anticipated frost date for that year. And now I'm super excited to show you guys what seeds I purchased and decided to add to my already abundant seed collection. Some of these seeds I will be sowing in the next few days now in the month of August for my fall vegetable garden, and some I will save, store in a cool, dark place, and sow in the early spring of next year. Because I don't want to confuse you guys even more, I divided the seed packets that I got into vegetable categories or crop categories. So these are the beans that I picked up and decided to add to my seed collection. So this is the green bean variety. It's called Bean Garden Blue Lake 274 Bush. As you could see, it's by company Fairy Morse. And what I liked about this bean variety is that it only takes 55 days from seed to harvest. So I'm going to be starting this bean variety right now in August for my fall vegetable garden. As you could see, these packets were only as little as $1.99 for this whole bag of bean seeds. The next bean variety is the pink bean variety. It's called Cow Pea, Pink Eye Purple Hull. So this one takes a bit longer. It takes 85 days from seed to harvest. So this variety I'm going to be starting in early spring for my summer garden next year. Then I got this yellow bean variety. It's called Bean Garden Heirloom Cherokee Backs Bush. It's also container friendly. And also only 54 days from seed to harvest. So I'm going to be starting this variety as well now in August for my fall garden. And last but not least, I thought these looked very interesting. And I definitely want to try growing them in my home garden. These are the burgundy, so the purple bean variety. Bean Garden Royal Burgundy Bush. It's also container friendly, which is awesome. And it only takes 51 days from seed to harvest, which is super, super exciting. And the cool thing about container-friendly varieties is that if the temperatures start to drop drastically, you never know with Mother Nature. You can always move and relocate your containers inside, indoors, or anywhere where your plant will not be impacted by cooler temperatures. You could see all of these were only $1.99 per seed packet. So I will be starting 3 of these out of 4. And I'll save this beauty over here for spring sowing. So the next vegetable that I love starting and growing from seed are my radish. So these are the 4 radish varieties that I decided to add to my seed collection. As you could see, 2 of them are organic and 2 of them are not. but I have never grown these specific varieties, and I found them to be very interesting, and I definitely want to try growing them in my home garden. Again, this is by Fairy Morse brand. This is organic, so it did cost a little more. It was $2.79 for the packet, but these are the radish French breakfast. Look how long, elongated they are. They're pink on top and have the white bottom. Only 24 days from seed to harvest. So I'm going to be growing these in my fall garden starting in a few weeks. I'm going to direct sow these in my raised garden beds. So the next one is also organic by Fairy Morse. Early Scarlet Globe Radish. 25 days from seed to harvest. So I'm going to be direct sowing these in my raised garden bed for my fall vegetable garden. So the next is this guy over here, watermelon radish. As you could see, this one is container friendly, but 60 days from seed to harvest. So I'm going to save this guy for next spring. And last but not least, when it comes to radish, is this guy over here. What a stunner, black Spanish radish. I've never grown this variety. Guys, let me know in the comments below, have any of you, my fellow gardeners, grew black Spanish radish? How did it come out? Did you have success? It is container friendly. However, also 55 days from seed to harvest. So I'm going to save this one for next spring sowing season. So the next vegetable that I absolutely love growing from seed and starting from seed are my squash or zucchinis. So these guys are perfect for fall vegetable garden. So the first variety I picked up is the squash winter spaghetti. 80 days from seed to harvest. The next variety is organic. It's called squash winter table queen acorn. Organic by Fairy Morse, 75 days from seed to harvest. The next vegetable is also by Fairy Morse, squash winter cream of the crop. I love the shape and the white color, but this guy takes 100 days from seed to harvest. Organic, look at this beauty over here. Squash summer, early bush scallop. It's a patty squash variety, only 49 days from seed to harvest. So this guy can easily be planted in your home garden for fall vegetable harvest. And last but not least, the squash cocoa zell. Look at the beautiful stripes, the dark green, the lighter green. 50 days from seed to harvest, and all of these guys were only $1.99 per seed packet. And this variety is heirloom variety. And just in case, guys, each seed packet has very, very clear care and maintenance instructions in the back of the packet. So the next vegetable that I love starting and growing from seed are cucumbers, guys. And you know I have cucumbers growing now in my home garden, which are doing great and thriving. And I picked up more very interesting cucumber varieties to add to my seed collection. Some I will be starting now for my fall garden, and some I will save for the spring sowing season. Here are the cucumbers that I'm growing from seed that I started in the late spring. Take a look, guys. What a massive, massive plant. There are different cucumber varieties growing in this bed. Look at all the pollinators. They're loving it. I have beautiful, beautiful cucumbers that I harvest multiple times a day from this plant. And I love growing fresh cucumbers in my fall vegetable garden, because these guys over here that I started in spring will no longer be here by the time I will sow my fall seed batch of cucumbers. So these are the varieties that I did not grow before, and I found to be very interesting, and I will be growing them going forward. Fairy Morse cucumber, white wonder. I've never seen white colored cucumbers, honestly, in my entire life. Why don't you guys let me know in the comments below? Have you ever seen white cucumbers? Have you ever grown white cucumber varieties? 60 days from seed to harvest. So the next cucumber variety is called the Spring Burpless. 53 days from seed to harvest. This guy I will be popping into my fall vegetable garden. Another variety is National Pickling Cucumbers. Container friendly, guys. 55 days from seed to harvest. I will be starting this, guys, this fall as well. Next is my Garden Bush Slicer Hybrid. Container friendly, 53 days from seed to harvest. I will be sowing this guy this fall as well. Let's take a look. Cucumber Market More 76. So this is an heirloom variety, 68 days. This guy I will save for next spring. And last, but definitely not least, look at this huge guy. Cucumber Tasty Green Hybrid, 57 days. I think I'm going to save this guy for spring season as well. The next crop that I love growing every single year from seed are tomatoes. These are the new tomato varieties that I thought were very, very interesting and unique. And I want to try growing them in my home garden. As you guys may know from my previous gardening videos, I have quite an abundance of different tomatoes growing now in the summer in my home garden. These tomatoes will soon be done when the cold weather comes. Tomatoes are one vegetable, one crop that we cannot, unfortunately, grow in the fall, as this is a warm weather loving vegetable. So, but the seeds that I did pick up yesterday at my local home garden, I will be sowing when the next spring comes. So the first tomato variety that I found to be very interesting and pretty is the Tomato Jubilee variety, 80 days from seed to harvest. Again, this is all by Fairy Morse. The next is the Giant Pink Belgium Heirloom. This is container friendly. However, it does require a larger 24-inch container at least. 82 days from seed to harvest. The next tomato variety is called the Rainbow Blend. Love how from a one seed you can get all these different colored tomatoes, the green, the orange, the pink, the red. 70 days from seed to harvest. Next is this guy over here, organic purple tomatillo, guys. Never ever seen a purple tomatillo. 75 days from seed to harvest. I do have tomatillos growing right now in my home garden. I showed you guys that plant in my previous videos, but that is the standard green tomatillo. So I want to try growing this interesting purple variety. Next is the Chef's Choice Blend tomato, 75 days from seed to harvest. Also love the coloring, the yellow with the green, the pink, the red, and last but not least, the Cherokee Purple Tomato. This is an heirloom variety. These guys get to be pretty large. I grew similar variety last year, and these guys were ginormous, huge off the vine. 82 days from seed to harvest. Carrots are yet another crop that can be sown directly into our home garden, either in the early spring or in the fall as well. So I started my carrots this year early spring, guys. I'm talking very early, when there were still cold, very cold air temperatures outside. And I just wanted to show you guys a glimpse of how well my carrots are doing here in my raised garden bed. This is just one of my carrot varieties, but I do have a whole raised garden bed filled with carrots. And so I picked up this variety to start growing next time. So this is by Pennington, organic carrots, colorful rainbow mix, easy to grow, safe for bees. So I'm going to be trying this variety as well this fall, guys. I'm going to do an experiment. I want to see how well my carrots that I will plant this fall will do compared to the carrots that I sowed early spring. Eggplant is yet another vegetable that loves warm air temperatures. And this year I'm growing new Japanese eggplant varieties. You could see the difference in the leaf color. And you could see that the blooms are much deeper purple color. So this is the Shoya long Japanese eggplant variety. And I decided to add one more variety to my seed collection. So this is the organic eggplant by Fairy Morse, $2.79 per pack. Early, long purple. It is container friendly and 75 days from seed to harvest. I will be starting this beauty next year for my summer harvest. For those of you, my fellow gardeners, who might be wondering, how can an eggplant, how can a vegetable the size of an eggplant be container friendly? Look at this, guys. I have this beauty over here. This variety of eggplant that has been growing in my backyard garden in this container for a few months now. And look at the eggplants that are starting to develop and grow in it. Look at all the beautiful blooms. And there's tons and tons of pollinators around this plant. So yes, guys, there are quite a few eggplant varieties out there that are indeed container friendly. For those of you who do not have much garden space, don't despair. You can always get the container varieties and grow them compactly in containers in your home garden. Now I got this kale variety, organic variety, dwarf blue curl that I will be starting now for my fall vegetable garden, 55 days from seed to harvest. I also got this new variety of Brussels sprouts. The variety is called Cat Skill. It's 85 days from seed to harvest, and I will be starting this next early spring for my summer harvest. But this is also by Fairy Morse. I also got this new pepper variety that I never grown before. As you guys know, I have multiple different pepper varieties growing now in my home garden, but this variety I don't have. It's Pepper's Hot Pepper, Pasilla Bio. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I truly apologize. 75 days from seed to harvest. I will be sowing these next spring inside indoors in my seed starting trays. Now I got two different melon varieties that I want to try growing next year. So this one is by Burpee. It's called the Crenshaw melon. As you could see here, it was $1.99. And the other one is by Fairy Morse. And this is the Hale's Best Jumbo Cantaloupe. 80 days from seed to harvest. So both of these guys, unfortunately, I cannot start now, but I will start them next year. And I plan to sow them directly into the soil of my south side garden. So this is another crop that I will be starting now for my fall vegetable garden. And this is okra, the Clemson Spineless number 80 by Fairy Morse. 56 days from seed to harvest. Okra is an excellent crop to grow for your fall vegetable garden. I picked up another awesome broccoli variety for my fall vegetable garden. It's broccoli de Sico. Look at this. It's also container friendly. 48 days. That little from seed to harvest to enjoy delicious broccoli all fall and even winter long. I will be growing dill this fall as well, especially this variety, the bouquet. Why? Because not only is it container friendly, which means I can move the container or the pot inside indoors if Mother Nature decides to surprise me with cooler weather temps. And it's 60 days from seed to harvest. But remember, guys, dill will bolt if the air temperatures will get too hot. It will turn to seed production. So I'm going to plant this in a container. I'm going to give it a try versus a garden bed and grow it all fall and maybe even winter long in my green room, because my family loves consuming dill. It's so fragrant, so delicious, and so healthy for you. Another cool crop I'm going to be growing next year is this watermelon, the Crimson Sweet. 85 days from seed to harvest, but watermelon loves and thrives in warmer air temperatures, and now it's a little too late to plant it, to sow it. So we'll be growing this guy next year in my south side garden. Another crop that's perfect for fall vegetable garden that loves and thrives in cooler air temperatures, and that's our peas. I started my peas early this spring, and we're done harvesting them as it got too hot and the plants started to die out. But I will be starting this new variety in my home garden within the next few weeks. This is the Burpina early pea variety. It's by Burpee Organics. It was $2.49. I'm going to directly sow these pea seeds into my raised garden bed here in my backyard garden. By this point in the video, many of you might be thinking that I'm absolutely crazy for getting this many seeds, especially that this is not all my seeds in my entire collection. These are just the new seeds that I'm essentially adding to my existent seed collection. But I cannot begin to tell you guys how much I love to garden. Gardening and home gardening are not only my hobby, they are my true passion, guys. I get up every morning super early just to get out into my home garden and to look at my plants, to harvest my plants, to water my plants. I love gardening. I'm such a passionate home gardener, which is one of the many reasons why I decided to start this channel and to share my tips, my tricks, and all of my gardening advice with you guys, my fellow gardeners. Now, last but not least, let me show you some of the flower seeds that I picked up for my seed collection. I have so many beautiful flowers growing in my home garden, and these are just in my backyard garden. So this is an aster flower, and this is a perennial, guys. I have so many echinacea. This is just one that's starting to, die off for the season, but I have more flowers and more flowers. Let me show you some of my containers. Look at these. I love the pop of color. This one is just huge. There is another one right over here on top. Right next to it, guys, is another container. And then there are more and more and more flowers. You could see back there by my kitchen door, there are more containers. I love potting up containers and growing flowers, especially from seed, so I can add that pop of beautiful color to my home. So here is the sweet pea annual flower, Sweet Dreams mixed colors that I picked up by Burpee. I'm going to start these early next spring. So I don't only seed my annuals from seed, I even grow my perennial from seed. So this is by Fairy Morse, Shasta Daisy Dwarf Silver Princess. It blooms every year, and I'm going to be seeding this beauty right now so it can grow, establish its roots, and bloom for me as soon as next year. Here is another stunning perennial. It's the Black-Eyed Susan Rudbeckia by Fairy Morse. It is container friendly and it blooms every year. I have quite a few Black-Eyed Susans growing already in my home garden that I started from seed. So this is yet another variety I'm going to add to my home garden. Here is a quick glimpse of some of my Black-Eyed Susans, my Rudbeckia. They are huge. As you can see, they're needing support by this point in their life. So does this guy. Look at this huge plant. Huge. It wraps up around this corner over here. And all of these have been growing here for the last 2.5 years from seed, guys. Huge, they're happy, healthy, and as I mentioned previously, they are heat and drought tolerant and resistant, guys. They are doing well in the heat, the humidity, and even with the lack of watering, they will continue to thrive and get as tall and as big as they're here right now in my home garden. So I'm going to start a new Black-Eyed Susan variety from seeds, and hopefully it'll do just as well in my home garden. One of the annual flowers that I love growing every year are zinnia. So zinnia, you can either grow in a container or you can directly sow it into the soil of your garden. So this variety is a giant double-flowered lavender. 35 days from seed to harvest. I will be sowing this beauty today into my home garden. Another is this beautiful lime green colored zinnia Envy, 35 days from seed to harvest. And I've grown zinnias in containers and directly in the soil of my home garden before. This variety by Fairy Moore's Giant Double Enchantress, also 35 days. I will be sowing this one as well now to enjoy the blooms for the rest of the summer and fall season as well. And last but definitely not least, by Burpee Purple Prince. Look at this stunner. All of these I will be sowing today in my home garden. Last two seed packets here. This is an annual Aster Sea Star mixed colors. By the way, makes an excellent container flower, guys. And last but not least, by Burpee Marigold Mission Giant Yellow. I love how this variety doesn't honestly even look like a marigold. It looks more like an aster flower. I mean, compare the petals, guys. The elongated, skinny petals, they almost look identical except for the coloring. But this is a new marigold variety that I will be trying out next spring. This is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on yet another gorgeous summer day in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. In today's video, we covered two topics. The first topic was fall vegetable garden. We went into detail as to when, how, and why all of us should be sowing our seeds now in order to continue harvesting delicious herbs and vegetables all fall season and even winter season along. Why stop gardening now, guys, when we can continue to enjoy picking the fruits of our hard labor all the way into the winter season? And I also showed you my new seed haul. I added so many new seed varieties to my existing seed collection, and I was so excited to share all of these new and exciting seeds with you guys. So if you guys enjoyed watching this video, if you found this video to be helpful, useful, interesting, show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comment, guys. Let me know, have you started sowing your seeds for the fall vegetable garden? Do you grow any crops in the fall in your vegetable garden? If so, which ones? And have you started sowing those seeds already? Also, for those of you guys who haven't yet done so, don't be shy, guys. No need to wait any longer. Subscribe to my channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor. So easy for you guys to do. All you do is click the subscribe button. Yet it's so pleasing and honestly, sincerely rewarding to me knowing that you guys are enjoying watching my gardening videos. Click the bell icon if you want YouTube to notify you every time I'll upload a new gardening video. Stay healthy, happy, be well, guys. Happy gardening, and I'll see you again in my new upcoming gardening videos. Bye, guys. Be well.